Hello and a very warm welcome to another episode of Her Space. Today we have a special guest, as you can see, the vivacious Elsie Wandera. I will let her introduce herself because she wears many hats. Karibu sana Elsie. Thank you so much for honoring this invitation. We are so excited to have you, and you're looking gorgeous. You look so amazing.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here. I love my friend Edna. We go way back. My name is Elsie Wandera. I hope I've said that. And I am an endo warrior first. I think that's how probably many of you might know me. I am also an advocate for empowerment of young people and also women. And basically, that's the hat that I wear for now. So I hope you guys will tune in and engage, and you learn more about me as we go along.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yeah. So who is Elsie? Before Endo Warrior, typically, how is your day like?
Well, let's see. I start at what, 8 o'clock? Wake up.
Thank you for encouraging the Kenyans who start at 8.
Yeah, at least I start at 8. Just that's the time I wake up because I think I'm at that age now, right?
Yeah. Tuko hapo.
44.
Yes.
I'm like, life must at least, just start to slow down just a little bit.
Yes.
This thing of waking up at what
We
time
did the
is-
5 a.m.
We did the 5 a.m. We did it, and that's enough.
Yes.
So I wake up at 8. Then I go straight. I don't do anything else. Of course, pray. Have because we do that as a family. We pray
Yes.
at exactly 8 o'clock.
That's nice.
And then I get into like just my office because I work from home, and then just get into the day of just thinking about solutions, because that's, I guess, when I think about the many hats that I wear,
Yes.
I think about creation of solutions, not only for, like I said, young women,
Yeah.
the girls, the endometriosis community, thinking about the foundation, thinking about, okay, so what are we doing tomorrow? Or how am I going to expand it?
Yes.
And the likes. I think that's what a typical day looks like for me. And then in the evening, I work until late because there's also some consultancy work that I do, of course. That then makes me work into like 7 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m. because of Eastern Standard Time. And then go to bed straight. I try to walk.
Yes.
It never works. Like, I don't think outside likes me. I don't think walking likes me. So me, I just go to my bed, and
Walking doesn't like you?
walking doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Outside doesn't like me.
Yeah.
And then I go to my bed, and then I start watching Investigation Discovery. That's
That's
my
your
day.
passion.
Let me tell you. I can tell you all the serial killers. I can tell you who is. In fact, I can now start profiling.
I hope we don't have Kenyans.
I think we do.
Oh, lolo.
Yeah. But yeah, that's generally.
I fear such. I love drama. I just like easy things.
That's what you see. Those are the kind of shows that make me really think.
They
that
deepen your
opens my thinking completely. Yeah.
What are you watching right now?
There's actually a medical series I'm watching called The Resident.
Okay.
I love it. I think it's an old series, but I just got it on Netflix right now.
So you're saying you wear many hats. So
Yeah.
you do brand. You can just tell us a little bit about the things you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I'll start with My Heart Scripted, which I
Yes.
think is the oldest one.
Yes, we
that
love
you
it.
might know about,
Yes.
which birthed and was the home to Purity and Purpose.
Yes.
And really, that
Are you still doing Purity and Purpose?
I am. In fact,
Oh,
you should just keep it here because
I
you
saw.
Yeah.
I know you had started that a little earlier on.
correct. So there's something coming up. But
Awesome.
so how My Heart Scripted started was because I think at the time, you and I connected after PLF,
Yes.
that time, and
Yes.
during Mavuno, and
Yes.
during that time there was a lot of, I was surrounded by conversation around purpose.
Yes.
And just trying to figure out how I can impact community.
Yes.
And yeah, utilizing my faith,
Yes.
right, also
Yes.
to do the same.
Yes.
So I think because of how I had lived, just like I really judged myself.
Yes.
And I knew that there were many other women who were struggling with their sexual purity,
Yes.
their journey. And so I think I just got a word, and I got like a sense that, you know what, if we pursue sexual purity, we will unlock purpose.
Yeah.
Because I think the scripture is actually just before us. It's a scripture that we like saying a lot. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then all these things shall be
Yes.
added unto you. So that was like the foundation. And also just my story of how, I think for me, my story goes way back, like how I got pregnant at 16. I wasn't able to keep the pregnancy. And so that's where purity and purpose was born. Like the essence of my heart scripted is in there. Just bringing women into a space and a room for
Yes.
them to be able to navigate, their sexual purity journey, and then also helping them identify what their purpose is.
Yes.
So that they focus on that.
Yeah.
Because the world is full of so much pressure. So I felt that was the only way I could give back. Again, turning my pain into purpose.
Into purpose.
And that leads me then to the oldest one. I feel like it's the oldest because it's a thing I've suffered with the longest, which is endometriosis.
Yes.
And endometriosis has been, I think I was first diagnosed when I was 26, but I started presenting the symptoms when I was about 16, 15, around there. And that is the time when, again, a lot of young girls will be presenting those symptoms at a very young age. I'm sure you must have met girls in school
Yeah.
passing out because of pain,
Yeah.
or being like in the clinic,
Yeah.
and that, with the nursing, in the nursing room and whatever. Not nursing room, but in the nurse's room, office,
Yeah.
clinic,
High school.
just trying to manage that pain.
Yes.
And so for me, the thing, I mean, just the reason why I started the Endometriosis Foundation was to raise awareness about the issue.
Yes.
Because I realized that there is a very huge gap
Yes.
in terms of the knowledge and understanding of what endometriosis is.
Yes.
There's a generalization that period pain is normal,
Yeah.
when it isn't. We should
Yeah.
actually be sending people to hospital. So by the time I think I was going in for my second surgery, that's when I was like, I don't know why my doctors don't have a solution for me.
For it.
Because now I was just being told, oh, you'll just be on fertility treatment for the rest of your life. I was like, and if I want to have children,
Yes.
what are you telling me? That this story is, it's never going to happen. And so I felt, hey, let me just do some investigation. Let me just look on the internet and see what this is. See if there are any advocacy groups or support groups for patients out there. And that's when I got the inspiration to start one.
The foundation.
The foundation. So yeah, that has really, I mean, that's the other initiative which I run.
Yeah.
And I think more recently, and the reason why I'm very, very passionate about it right now is just because of how I know it has affected my fertility journey.
Yes.
I lost both my ovaries after my my fourth surgery.
I'm so sorry.
I know. I don't usually. It's a sad note, because for me it means that I missed out on an opportunity of conceiving naturally without any assistance. But I think for me, the encouragement to the endo community usually, and whenever I'm speaking out there, is to tell women and girls, one, be aware
Yes.
of what you're going through before you go for surgery. Ask your doctor if you know your priority is you want to conceive or you want to have children at
Yes.
some point. Prioritize that discussion and say, is there a way we can bring this forward?
Okay.
And just keep the surgery in the back, like just so that we can consider it later.
Yeah.
And not again be in a hurry to make that choice also about getting pregnant, because we know it comes with its responsibility.
Yes.
So there are other alternatives.
Yeah.
Which is like, for example, you can get assisted, you can freeze your eggs. I mean, but again, because of the stigma in society, and I think the way we've been socialized as women, you know, to believe that immediately I think we're born, we're expected to be mothers.
Yes.
We're always playing with dolls. By the time we're 3,
Yeah.
we're already being
Mothering
taught, like
something.
we're mothering something.
You're mothering a doll.
Yeah, so it's already, you're like you're being groomed, you're being
Yeah.
told already, hey, by the way, this is your role, and you need to know
Yeah.
that this is something
You need to do.
we expect of you in the future. So you know, when you get married, then, you know, of course, if that doesn't happen, then of course your
Yeah.
society judges you very harshly.
Yes.
And I think that's a work that now I'm trying to that's a stigma that I'm trying to end,
fight with.
to fight, because women need, I mean, not all women wake up wanting to be in the situation I am in.
Yeah.
And so I think we have to be a very compassionate society, instead of really judging these girls and these women.
Yeah.
Try to understand what they are battling, because it's not, I mean, we're not fighting them, we're fighting a disease.
Exactly.
And then I think the third and last, is Heroes for Change,
Yeah.
which was birthed during my time at Unilever. And really, the idea behind it was to try and see how we can get young people to participate in delivering social impact programs in their communities,
Okay.
in an effort to help them bridge the experience gap and just prepare them for employment, basically. Preparing them even for the marketplace. And let me tell you, the beautiful thing about Heroes for Change is meeting young people who are so stranded in terms of trying to figure out, what can I do to transform my community? What can I do to help my community?
Yes.
And then we empower them, we equip them with the tools, and then they go out there and then they do the transformation.
That's great.
And they come back feeling so charged. You know, the stories where I've heard of young people coming back and saying, you know, I am now known as the doctor in my community.
That's cute.
You know, there's such,
that's
you know,
beautiful.
they gain, you know, like their social currency. Because I'm like, my God, you know, they felt like they were no one, but then
Yes.
now they feel like
They become somebody.
They become somebody. And I've seen a lot of, again, young people, and this goes back to the purpose discussion.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of young people who get involved in these kinds of activities, and their purpose is unlocked.
That's
they realize, like,
amazing.
oh my God, I was so passionate about children. Oh my God, I was so passionate about women.
And I
oh my
was-
God, I was,
yeah.
And I just didn't know how to
do anything about it.
to get there. So
Are you still being supported by Unilever?
yes, because I mean, yes, you're right. They were the funders of the
Initiative.
and that's where it was birthed. And yes, they continue to support us, and we continue to support them with their social impact.
Wow, those are many hats, girl.
They are.
Those are many hats.
I really hope I'm not confused people.
And no. And you can already see how you're mothering so many people, you know, and that's
so deep.
yes, you're already doing it because you don't have. And I've been I wrote my book stories of mothers, Stay with Mom, to celebrate mothers, and it's actually a collection of stories from people's moms. It's not my story.
Oh wow.
No, it's usually a collection of, I ask people like you about your mom, Mary about her mom, Victor about his, and so people have talked about their mothers very passionately. So in my journey of writing this book, I've found that mothering is very wide. So when I look at someone like Mother Teresa, she was the mother of mothers, or they gave her the title mother, but there are many other women who are not birth moms. But even me, before I got my son, I was mothering already. You know, all the work that we do for purpose.
for sure.
Yeah. And I love that we also share purpose, and we got some good foundation.
We did.
Shouldn't we give a shout out to Pastor
Pastor
A
Angie
and Pastor Angie
and
Morenga?
Pastor M.
You know,
I mean, those guys
the
really
foundation
spoke.
of Mavuno. I know Pastor M should be the
Reverend
president,
Linda.
right? Yeah, Linda, you know. And then Pastor Angie took us through a whole 14 weeks. By the way, Pastor Angie, shout out to you.
Shout
and
out.
you have to come to the her
has to.
space.
She has
Yeah,
to.
and you know, when Pastor Angie comes to her space, it will be for like
Because her
speaking in tongues.
Exactly.
And we'll pray first.
Because her children are here.
Yeah, we are her babies.
We are her
Yeah,
babies.
and you remember how she used to teach us about purpose. Let me now be Pastor Angie for a moment. So purpose is like this. So it's like this, you know, it's folded,
Yes.
and then you turn the page, you see My Heart Unscripted.
Magic.
Then you turn the page, you see Heroes for Change. Then you turn, where are we at now?
Endometriosis Foundation.
Endometriosis Foundation, you know, and the dots continue connecting.
Yeah.
Well done, Elsie.
Thank you,
You've done a fantastic job. And we celebrate you. You've been a hero. Your journey is inspiring many women. In fact, sometimes when I thought about endometriosis, I was like, was I going through it myself? Because I used to have pains.
Very many.
So I think a lot of people maybe are going through it and they don't know. Because, you know, the healthcare also.
Very many women
Yeah.
actually continue to be undiagnosed to date.
Yeah.
There are already 200 million women
In the world.
in the world who are known to be suffering.
Okay.
And you know, when they keep saying, you know, there's you know, we say there's 1 in 10 women are suffering with endometriosis.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But do you know that 1 in 10 number
Yeah.
is it's an outdated number.
Yeah.
So
Because the
if we
research
do-
was done.
The research was done a long time ago. And so that number might be an understated number.
Yeah. So it's a
A
good
lot
job
of
you're doing,
women
especially in
continue to-
Africa.
yeah.
So I tell you, I'm calling you now to Africa.
Thank you.
Because the continent needs heroes
Yeah.
like you.
Thank
the
you.
continent needs heroes like
And
you.
we're coming.
So I'm gonna take you back a little to just tell us about you talked about being pregnant as a teenager.
Yes.
How was that experience? And I know there could be teenagers out there who are wondering, how do I move now?
Let me sit my skirt properly.
And tell me that story.
Because this story
Yes.
felt that. I think I got pregnant because I was curious about the wrong things at the wrong time. I mean, I was curious about the right thing at the wrong time. Because sex is not bad.
It's good.
It's good.
Yes.
Okay, focus.
Let's stay focused. Okay.
So I was just seriously, and I guess even till today, like when it comes to just exploring and discovering, like that's me. So I really wanted to have a boyfriend. I remember I wanted to have, you know, I wanted to be part of like what everyone else was doing. Then we're reading Mills and Boons, all those novels, you know.
They were like,
you wanted to be that lead girl character.
yes.
You wanted to be her. So anyway, it happened. It happened, and it was unfortunately for me, it was the first time I had sex. The first sexual encounter. Pap. It's called pap.
The eggs were ready.
Eggs were ready. Tata. And so, unfortunately, because I had, you know, I was again just trying to navigate this journey by myself.
Yes.
Because I worked very hard to hide the pregnancy. From my mom.
You were in high school?
Yes, I was. I was in the Loreto Convent, Msongari.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
You are the group of school kids.
Correct. We were. So I was working very hard to hide the pregnancy. And unfortunately, one day, I remember we were at Village Market and my mom saw me.
How many years ago, Village Market? Okay.
Yeah, when Village Market was the place to go and just, like, if you guys are taking from Village Market, you've arrived.
Yes.
So we went and like I'd eaten, I was so full. So I was just like, I think I sat back, I rested my back. Then, you know, the stomach just went, whew. Then I just, you know, and zipped my jeans, you know, just to relax.
Yes.
Friend, niliona mama yangu, I saw my life flashing in front of my very eyes. I said, baby, she has known. I was 8 months pregnant.
8?
8.
Oh, it was very advanced.
Very. So she just, you know, she wasn't happy.
Wow.
I keep saying, you know, when my skin color is not natural, I was beaten the black out of.
Right there at Village?
No.
Okay, at home.
But they,
she calmed herself.
Yeah, she was just coming down, but I could
coming.
see it.
It was coming.
I could feel it in my bones. And if you are raised in those days,
Yes.
tu say, mother akisema, let's
Yes.
go. Twende home. You
Nivo.
know, Nivo. So I was stressed, but yeah, I felt like I disappointed her. I felt like I let her down. And I think that's when the creepy monster called shame checked in and really took root because, of course, the unfortunate decision at the time to terminate the pregnancy was made. And of course, I'm underage, so the
Yeah.
parents are the ones who make the decision.
Yes.
So for a very long time, I was very pissed off with my mom.
Because of that.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, we're not friends. We can't talk. You and I. About what? You abandoned me in my greatest time of need.
So sorry.
Please note, who was there? Who took me to that boyfriend's house? Did my mother take me at, hey,
No.
here, come and show you where a man is, where you can have sex? Was it her or was it me?
It was you.
Exactly. But you see, I'm just now projecting my anger and everything, and my shame, my fear of feeling unloved, unwanted. Because remember, I could hear during that time, during that age, like in high school, I could hear whispers in the corridors of people just gossiping and saying Elsie was pregnant, Elsie went, you know, had an abortion and blah, blah, blah.
I'm so
Yes,
sorry.
it was hell. It was hell.
I can imagine.
And yeah, it took me a while to forgive myself. And I think that's where we also met. Again, we did Alabastron.
Yes.
And how helpful was that?
That was so important.
Because I feel like it was a tipping point for me.
Yes.
Because if I didn't do that program,
Yeah.
I think I was going to be a mess for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful for initiatives like those.
Shout out to Alabastron.
Yeah, shout out to Laimani.
And how did you, before we did Alabastron, how are you dealing with it? How are you trying to deal with now that feeling of shame and all the difficulties? How did you navigate as a young girl?
See, now I went finding love in the wrong places.
Or after that?
Yeah. Now just continued. Now finding men to fill that gap, a man to fill that gap.
Yeah.
And that turned into men.
Yes.
Multiplied by 10.
Yes.
10 times 10, like that.
Yes.
And so it just became very, yeah, it's like a search in like a bottomless pit.
Yeah. There
Well,
was a
I was never-
hole
yeah.
that needed to be filled.
I was never going to find that answer, but I remember coming to Mavuno, and then finding a place where there was no judgment.
The acceptance.
I felt community, surrounded by community. Hey, then that's when I rededicated my life to Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's when now I was like, oh my God, I'm loved.
Yes.
And those are the days, I think Sundays were just so precious. Like I used to love going to church.
Yes. All of us, right?
Hey, I mean, it was the place you wanted to
Mavuno.
serve, you know, you wanted to give back to God because of how I knew He had delivered me and from what He had delivered me from.
Yes.
I'm like, I would have died if I continued with that lifestyle. So I was
Yes.
drinking, partying, clubbing, sleeping men, drinking, partying, clubbing, sleeping men, drink, like on repeat. And I really felt like my life was going to be destroyed. And again, so at the same time, that's when I plugged into the PLF community.
Yes.
But there I was really looking for answers.
Yes.
I was like, I need to find a sustainable solution
Yes.
to manage this pain. And that's when, again, all of these things were birthed. You know,
Yes.
purity and purpose. Because I was like, there must be a chick who's struggling with the shame of her sexual sin.
Yes.
And I was like, and then some also from their trauma that has happened to them, because I think it's not only my active engagement, but there's also that one which it was not consensual.
Yes.
That trauma, there are a lot of girls who are dealing with that shame.
Yes.
So I was like, let me just build that community.
Yeah.
So walking that path also with those girls helped also heal me.
And that you've impacted so many women. So many women. The stories are so rich, you know, and thank you.
Okay, I wasn't ready for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Elsie.
Thank you. I keep hearing. I think sometimes I guess you might not, yeah, there's no tangible like a trophy over here to say, Elsie,
Yes.
well done.
Yeah.
But I love to hear
Yeah.
that, you know, that there are a lot of
From
girls.
me to you, from the depth of my heart. Well done.
Amen.
And thank you for sharing that story. There are many people out there who will feel it.
And that's
who
what
will.
I feel like. By the way, Edna, it wasn't about. It wasn't. I really. Yes, I'm not discounting the fact that Jesus healed me.
Yes.
But it was also being actively pursuing and living out my purpose.
Yeah.
That also contributed to my healing, because
Yes.
you know, I feel like the more I talk about it, like it has no power over me.
Night has no power. It's defeated. It's under the feet
That's
of
how I'm
Jesus.
like,
Under your feet.
I'm like, so what are you going to do with that information?
Yes.
Even if you go and talk about it,
Yeah.
how is it going to add value to your life? Is it going to add a coin or penny to your pocket?
It's worse when it is not, you've not spoken about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that for me, I think, was the prayer that, you know, I bring, and the goal was to bring women around a table so that you strip them of that shame.
Yes.
And then they walk into their purpose.
Yes.
Because that shame really holds people back.
It does.
Because you're always like, someone is watching, someone knows.
How many years did it hold you back? Yeah. Yeah. I remember when
31.
I met you and you were trying to complete your education. I was like, this girl is so smart. We were talking
31,
about
imagine.
brands, and you were, you know, working for a global brand.
Imagine.
And you're telling me you're still struggling to finish your
degree.
And I'm like, you're sounding like I'm an MBA. It had held you back for long.
It had. That I think, that continues. I continue to marvel, and and I walk in humility, just knowing that.
Amen.
That I was not snatched.
Yes.
By death.
Yes.
Because it would have been easy to also die.
Yeah.
Because it was a very reckless life when I look back. But now, I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
And you're here doing purpose.
Imagine.
In a different way, not how you would have envisioned. Yeah.
But I really love it.
And that's the wonder and the amazingness of purpose, and how we were, you know, like it keeps on unfolding.
Yeah.
You know, so you find yourself in a space, you know, and you hadn't expected to be in that space, and then you're like, how did I get? And then the dots just keep connecting.
Yeah.
Keep connecting.
Yeah.
You're going further. Yeah, that's amazing.
I know.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful story, and I'm sure someone out there will be very encouraged.
Amen.
Yeah. What would you tell young girls if someone has found themselves in such a situation? What have you, now looking back, what are some of the things that you would tell someone to, how would they move forward?
I think one is self-forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's the foundation. And addressing self-rejection. Before you do that, there's no accepting of even God's love. There's no accepting even of God's forgiveness. And therefore, there will also be no way of you accepting other people's love or other people's kindness and other people's forgiveness. And again, self-rejection will manifest itself because you'll always feel like you need to please people, to make up, to compensate for your shortcomings. And I'm like, no, we don't. Make you reconcile with yourself.
Yes.
Sit down and ask yourself for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And really forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And tell yourself things like what I told myself. You are just 16.
Yes.
You are curious at the wrong time about good things, so that again, you also don't make it complex for you to now get into relationships later.
Yes.
And hate sex.
Yes.
And hate children.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a ripple effect. Then you'll hate your mother.
Yes.
Then you'll burn relationships with the family. Then you'll see your family never loved. And which, again, that definition is very strong and heavy.
Yes.
It's about now reframing that whole story.
Yeah.
Think about reframing it, and think about approaching it from a different direction. And changing the names and the definitions that you have given, and the labels that you've given yourself and you've given other people.
Yeah.
I think for me, that can then give you a fresh perspective into the situation. That way, then I can also hold myself accountable
Yeah.
for whatever
Happened.
had happened. I don't have to now hold my mother like on the cross. Jesus has already died, imagine.
Amen.
Amesha kufa, imagine. Ameshafanya hiyo kazi ya msalaba. Why should I put my mother on the cross?
Yeah.
You know, she loves me. I know that.
Yes.
And she made a very, very difficult decision.
Yeah.
And to date, we've reconciled. So I'll say to girls, like, and it's not that we reconciled just yesterday or something.
Yes, I know.
But oh my God, she's my sweet. I call her sweetness. Like if you see me on my social media pages
I see that.
with my mother,
I see that.
she's my sweetness.
Yeah.
And that's what I call her.
Yeah.
Because she's my essence. She made me who I am.
Amen.
She believed in me. So I think it's about having like that mother. If you can be able to forgive, go back and try and rebuild the relationship.
Yes.
That's such an essential connection to have in your life.
And that's a beginning.
That's the beginning. Because she'll now then pour into your life the wisdom.
Yeah.
Which she has now also worked all these years. Me, I love sitting with my mother. Sometimes just to sit there and just do nothing.
Yeah. I love that. And I love the angle of starting with self forgiveness, dealing with self-rejection, you know, overcoming that, and then now forgiving the other people, you know, who are stakeholders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And living positively. And you see, now you've birthed out some very good fruits out of a very painful situation.
Yeah.
Well done. What would you like to tell your mom? You know, here in this podcast, we celebrate mothers a lot. So you can tell her something now that you have the mic.
Oh. My sweetness. Sarah Nyangate Mokweri Wandera. I love you and I treasure you. You are such an incredible pillar and inspiration to me. And I'm cheering you on even as you're finishing an important project, and I'm really proud of you. And thank you for always having my back. I know that you've had my back for all these years. And thank you for the opportunity to be your daughter. I bless God for you and I love you.
Oh, cute. Yay. And we celebrate you, Mama. Well done. Look at this beautiful girl. She's done a good job on you. Awesome. Well done on that.
Thank you.
Let's talk about endometriosis.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah.
And that has led now to the foundation and the work that you're doing.
I think for me,
How was your journey like?
let me tell you, there's nothing. I don't miss my periods because now I don't have my periods.
Oh.
Now I'm at the perimenopausal stage.
Okay.
So I'm starting this story from the back going this way.
Okay.
I don't miss my periods. I don't, because periods, Yani, I used to have anxiety. Just thinking about it.
How the day will come.
I could feel the eggs already moving during ovulation. I would just be like, ndio hao wameanza movement. Maandamano imeanza huko chini.
Way.
Let me tell you, it was for, I don't know how to describe this pain. It was for, if I was walking in this room, it would start suddenly, the pain, and it would, like from 0 to 100, the pain would just go from 0 to 100. And I would not be able to do anything. Sometimes I would leave my computer, I would leave my bags, I would leave wherever I would fall.
Work.
I would just, it would be just hectic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I missed school, I missed a lot of social engagements. Sex was painful when I was married. And
It affects.
oh yeah.
Even other days of no period.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is not, and that's a good question you're asking. Endometriosis is not a disease that only manifests or
During periods.
during your periods, your
Okay.
actual periods, your menstruation. It's throughout the cycle. So for some people, it will come up like I was talking about my ovulation.
Yes.
For some people, it'll just be throughout their cycle. But it's worse, especially during.
The
I
period.
think like the late Jambi Koikai,
Oh,
you know,
that
her lungs used to
story.
collapse.
Oh, her
Again,
story was so painful.
Yeah, it's a whole body disease. It's a thing that it devours internally and you can't see it.
Wow.
And now imagine now, you know, if you fall down, you'll see a scratch over here.
Yeah.
But me, on the inside, it feels like things are discombobulating. Like there's,
Oh my God.
like there's a cactus, like, or a porcupine, like chucking all its things. It's really, it's an indescribable feeling.
Oh.
But for me, the thing that I knew, I felt like it's a spiritual battle. Because this is a battle to destroy, to attack the essence of a woman.
Yes.
And I call the essence of a woman her ability to become a mother.
Yes.
Like that's one of it, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, imagine now, it's the third contributing factor
Yeah.
for infertility amongst women.
Oh.
Third, number 3. Still under research, understudied, and underfunded space. And a lot of girls and women continue to suffer in silence. So for me, I grew up with the notion that period pain is normal. But that one day,
And when you were younger, were you like taking painkillers or?
yeah, injections tulikuwa ER casualty tulikuwa huko tu mashindano 24/7. It was hectic. So I lived on those painkillers, on very, very strong painkillers. Like I would have to take pain medication before my ovulation and before my period.
What a life.
To prep myself. And then on top of that, we're still going for injections.
Oh, that must
On
have
the
been
day. So it was hell. So I really believe that time, like even the period of having to go for surgery because of, because that's a method of managing the disease. I don't think it was fun. Like there's no fun in surgery and going to theater all the time. Injections.
Yeah. The surgeries you were going to remove.
Yeah, ovarian cysts.
Okay.
Or they were just going in to maybe just see, okay, what's the extent of the disease.
Okay.
I think the last surgery is where they found, a frozen pelvis where the ovary had actually attached itself to the pelvis and attached itself to the back, the bowel, the bowels and the bladder. So that's called a frozen pelvis.
Okay.
So that's what would cause so much discomfort. Can I shock you though? This is the size of your uterus.
It's that small. Why do we imagine it's big? How does
it is literally the size of this here. It is a danger. This thing.
It's so small.
Respect it. Respect it. That we can carry life
inside such a small
and then
sack.
It gives you such hell.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
So that's what, for me, I think it was. So it was there was nothing fun about it. It was the worst experience. I call it, like, it robbed me of the quality of life.
Yeah.
I feel like now, like I'm living.
Now you're feeling good. You're looking like you're glowing and enjoying
see how
yourself.
I'm even feeling?
Yes, you're feeling good. Yeah, you look like you're really feeling good.
And for me, like, that's what it has. Endometriosis does to a lot of girls. It robs them of their quality of life. It robs them of their confidence.
Yeah.
Their belief in themselves. And then when they hear stories like mine, they're just like, oh my God, this is it. My life, I am doomed.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, our healthcare services, still a lot of girls do not have access to care.
What about diagnosis?
I mean,
is it easily diagnosed?
It's not easily diagnosed. Unfortunately, the gold standard for diagnosing endometriosis is through a laparoscopy, which is a minimally invasive surgical procedure. But still, a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, Edna, there are women in the urban.
Yes.
but who still cannot get approval from the insurance companies to get that diagnosis.
Oh, they're going through the pain.
Yes.
And everyone is thinking it's the normal
Yes.
pain.
They're like,
How do you differentiate from the typical period pain with?
Are you even seeing the question you're asking?
Yeah, because
what is typical?
Exactly. The typical is what we go throughout because we're always in pain.
Yeah, but there's a spectrum of pain.
Yeah.
Just the same way that there is a spectrum of anything.
We used to roll down and then we got to start taking Ponstan and
Imagine,
Buscopan.
And a hot water bottle that would scorch you and burn you.
And it's a lot. And even the experience hasn't been that good.
What do you mean that is normal? There's no normal there.
That's the problem because we don't even know.
Is an indicator that something is wrong in your body.
You mean periods are not supposed to be painful?
They're not.
Hello, doctors.
There is a
seriously.
There is a level of pain. However, that one that destabilizes you to the point where you cannot go to work or you cannot, perform certain duties or activities or whatever. That
is now beyond.
That's the one that should take you to the ER. Because remember, what is happening during your menstruation is the lining within the uterus is actually shedding. So of course there's some discomfort. Of course it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
But it's not the one of now you're popping pills every 3 times a day.
Yeah.
You're over there in a fetal position.
Yeah. You miss work. A lot of people miss work for 2 days.
There you go. And how many leave days do we have?
And children.
How many sick days do we have?
Yeah, very few.
We have
in Kenya.
We have few. So we are not covered enough.
Yeah. And children in school.
Yeah.
In fact, I always pray, like right now when kids are going to do exams, I pray for girls not to have periods during KCSE. And because it's how do they go through that? Yeah.
It's usually terrible, and they're darker stories, especially of young girls who have been dismissed, who've been made to believe they are not the thing that they're going through, they're imagining.
Yeah.
And it's all in their head.
Yeah.
Until today, imagine it's 2024. And we're still being told we're imagining, we're being dismissed. Healthcare services are still not where we'd like them to be.
It's not standardized.
It's not standardized. There's no standardized treatment. There's a lot. But I'm proud of Kenya because again, because of the endometriosis awareness. Endometriosis Foundation of Kenya.
Yes.
We've worked a lot to raise awareness.
Well done.
And to end the stigma around endometriosis, around, just ending the taboo of being able to raise a conversation
like this.
Yeah.
Yes, about
to talk about it publicly. I think, people used to just be very uncomfortable talking about that.
Yeah, because it's already like
correct.
Yeah.
Me, I used to
it's a topic that, and I like people who are even talking about even periods normally, like the initiatives of Janet Mbugua. And my first time,
my first time
we
stories.
should. And there's a senator, who is now working with, stained pants to normalize it.
Normalize
it. Because women have really. That's also a thing that has really brought women down in terms of self-esteem.
That is true.
And confidence.
That is very
and
true.
even your own health.
That is true.
Yeah. So you've reached a good place now in your health journey.
I am good. I think I am now. I keep saying endometriosis is like you peel one thing and then you discover something else.
Okay.
So now where I'm at in stages, I'm perimenopausal, right?
Okay.
So I'm undergoing what is called hormone replacement therapy.
Okay.
Because I am not producing my own hormones, progesterone and estrogen. I am now reliant on, synthetic hormones.
So that's
so there's topical estrogen that I use.
Okay.
To keep me happy.
Oh,
you know those hormones that are responsible
They're
for
the
your
ones
happiness.
for yes.
Then there's estrogen. Estrogen is the one that just keeps you calm. It now levels the quiet of Nini. Because now if you have too much estrogen, now you'll be happy. You're
too happy.
You're going to go mad. But you need estrogen also just to keep things quiet. To balance things. So I have that as well, which comes in the form of a coil.
Okay.
Yeah. So. But I'm good. I'm really good. I love where I'm at. Because God. Again, it's taken a lot. It's taken a lot of discovery with my gynecologist to try and find out. Okay, so what drug works? Which one? and that's also your choice. You didn't even know that.
Yes.
We don't know that. A lot of women don't know that it is their choice to speak up and say, this is
Yeah.
not working for me.
Yeah.
I need something else that just makes me feel not like I'm going crazy.
Exactly.
And then a lot of talk therapy. So a lot. I have a lovely psychologist and psychiatrist as well. Who so I have learned to ask for help.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a strong woman anymore.
No, we are not supposed
trying
to be.
like Miss Independent. That song. I don't even want to hear it. We should not even be singing that song.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm in a very good
You're
place.
a woman of strength.
Yes.
Yes. You refill your cup, you give what you have.
Completely.
And you've done well. And I love that also, the fact that you're doing also, talk therapy.
Yes.
So it's important.
So useful. How would we go through this?
Exactly.
I keep asking. Every time I feel like I'm in a situation, I'm like, tomorrow,
Yeah.
I am calling
my therapist.
Yes, we have to go through this.
Yeah.
She has to help me process this whole situation.
Yeah.
Because I think I think I didn't appreciate for a very long time how important it is to be equipped to communicate.
Yeah.
In relationships, in the workplace, just everywhere, even in life.
Yes.
And because I wasn't processing, life and what I was going through very well.
Yeah.
So my communication skills were really, I had weak communication skills.
And now through the therapy support, you're able to.
Yeah.
And what I've gathered from you is that you've really, you have sought help.
I have.
By all means. And you have found it.
Not,
and you've gotten good results.
Not ashamed.
Yeah. And that is what we need to know, that we are not, we don't know everything. We don't have it together.
Nope.
And we can ask for help, and we can be helped, and we can get good results.
That's true.
Yeah. And we can talk about it, that we're asking for help. I say that all the time also. I always have a therapist. I paid my fees. I speak to her. We vent. We go through, because we have so many struggles.
I like what you're saying.
Yeah.
You'd rather pay
than
pay by being in
because life is full of a lot of struggles, So it's not just illnesses, but we go through so many different challenges.
Correct.
And we can't be able to, I think in Africa we are luckier because we have a lot of society. But now the way the digital world is disrupting us, we are having less because people are in their phones and all that. So people are not interacting the way we used. We no longer have the aunties we had who we would sit down with.
Who would sit with the young girls also and guide them.
Yeah. So we must tell people, embrace therapy.
Correct.
And I think the government has even now made it accessible across even public hospitals. I think it is good. Yeah. Even for your foundation, maybe for the rural areas, it's good for people to access through public hospitals. I'm sure there's a psychologist who comes once in a month, and you can be able to talk to somebody. Wow. Well, how are you feeling right now? I can see you're feeling good.
Let me tell you, girl.
Oh, gorgeous.
I am feeling really pampered, really loved.
What's next for Elsie?
I don't know. In fact, there's some very many things. I think we were talking earlier, just before we got on set.
Yeah.
And I am so excited about 2025. I don't think people
you feel like you're
ready.
flying. Yeah.
I don't think people are ready for 2025. And so for me...
Gosh, people are talking already about 2025. Okay, now wake up.
Please, I don't feel like 2 months away.
Yes, it's true.
It's like we were just celebrating.
Just flown.
It has.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for next year because there are just some exciting projects I'd love to share. But I'd like to surprise you.
You will surprise us.
And I will. You're in my VIP list.
Yay!
And so
I'll be there.
I feel like
I'll be there.
It will be the next phase for all the initiatives that I've talked about.
Excellent.
So I'm just like a child, like really, really excited.
I love that.
I can't wait. And hopefully, you'll have me back and we can talk about that. What that project
anytime.
Will be. So
I am your gal.
Yeah.
I'll be with you all through.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Elsie, I am so happy to even see how you've evolved. And the fact that I saw you then and now, I am thank you, Jesus. And the Lord is faithful, and the Lord is a good God. Yeah, and you're the same. You don't age, you don't change. I was going to say that in Cuke. you know, and she's single.
Yes, I am, people. Sorry, don't be don't be confused. This is to confuse the enemies, though.
Okay. Which enemies?
Just in case there are any
Just in
enemies.
case they're distracted.
Yes.
Yes. Elsie is single, ready to mingle.
I am.
So just to close in on your pursuit for motherhood, what are the options that you're looking at, or how is that looking like?
I love that question, and thank you for asking.
Yes.
I think because of, again, the society and how we were socialized.
Yes.
I think we believed that, again, it was important for a girl, a woman, to have a child.
Yes.
But what if you don't like me?
Exactly.
There are options. And I love my doctor because he's the one who encouraged me. And so, he's a gynecologist and a fertility expert for that matter.
Okay.
So he told me, Elsie, I remember after this surgery, and he came to me and I remember he held my hand. I don't know if he remembers. He held my hand and he said, Elsie. So I told him, I was like, yeah, so what did you see? Because me, I'm always excited. I'm like, tell me everything that you
Yes.
saw in there. He's like,
Yes.
girl, you have a beautiful uterus. When you're ready for the baby, just say when.
Yes.
However, we were not able to save the ovaries.
Okay.
And, I think he almost saw me like crashing. Then and I remember he squeezed my hand and he just said, Elsie, it doesn't end here.
Yes.
There are very many options for you. We can do IVF. We can do.
Ah.
There are very many options.
Yeah.
You can choose to adopt. And lucky for me, even before that conversation, he had actually urged me to start therapy
Okay.
before that surgical procedure.
Okay.
And that prepared me.
Okay.
So I was ready for that conversation. I was like, okay, all right. But you say the uterus is beautiful, so I can do an IVF if I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I want to have children? No, I don't think I want. I think my
Okay.
body has suffered enough.
Enough.
I'm like,
Yo.
I can adopt.
Yes.
So that's the next thing I can say publicly.
Yeah. Is an option for you.
For me, it's an option. And I think that's my encouragement to the women out there. Like, if you're considering, and if you, if that opportunity for you to conceive naturally is lost,
Yes.
there are other options. There's surrogacy. There is also, adoption.
Yes.
So there's so many children out there who are waiting to be mothered
Yes.
by someone.
Yes.
So let's go and find them.
Many.
Let's go and find them.
So many. So many. Yeah. And you're already supporting many. You're already supporting many. So you're already mothering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're already in it. You're doing it differently. Differently. So I think for me, it's just to continue praying for you and to wish you all the best. Whichever direction you go, Elsie, we'll support you. We'll support you. Yeah. And and you're an amazing auntie. And an auntie is a mother. In our in our rural, not even rural, I mean in our culture, an auntie is already a mother. So you are a full mother. Be proud of yourself. And we are very proud of you.
Thank you.
And whatever direction you go, may the Lord guide you and may it go the way that will be good for Elsie.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think a lot of mothers out there have been encouraged today. Thank you so much for coming. I can't thank you enough.
Hey, me, I can't now. Me, I'm the one who's honored. I'm
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having
Elsie.
me.
That was a deep conversation.
I loved it.
And it needed to be had.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I'm sure the next time we come here, there are two things that we must continue. Your surprise. I can't wait for it. Oh,
girl.
Come. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
And of course, we have to talk about endometriosis more. Yeah,
I love it.
I would ask people to follow you on your social media pages. Where can they go?
They can go to Elsie Wandera on Facebook, on Instagram, the same Elsie Wandera on Twitter. They will find me.
Yes.
Or the Endometriosis Foundation of Kenya pages.
Okay.
And that is where basically a lot of our information sits.
Yeah. So in there you can find community, you can find information, you can find a lot of resources that will help you on your journey.
Correct.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
you so much for coming. What would be your final remarks for a girl out there or a young lady like you out there who is looking for answers?
I think so. For me, to you, to younger Elsies who are out there, I would urge you to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself so hard and cheer yourself on, because you've got what it takes to make it in this life. You don't have to wait for a huge mountain or huge resources to come for you to unlock and realize your purpose. You just have to start with one step. So take a step today. You don't know the kind of impact you will have by the time you're done. And I'm praying for you.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
powerful. Thank you so much, our audience, for joining us.
you.
We had Elsie Wandera, Endo Warrior,
Yes.
an amazing, amazing young woman who is fighting for many other women in Africa through her foundation and through her very many initiatives in Kenya and in Africa. Thank you so much for having us. So we are saying Elsie to the world. Asante sana. Thank you for watching, and until next time, subscribe, leave a nice comment, a nice one.
It must be.
Subscribe, share, and like, and keep it locked here at her space. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.